Yeah, first and foremost, congratulations to Kent State. Coach Senderoff is a really good friend of mine. We actually worked together years ago back at Indiana University. He's one of my closest friends in the business. Obviously, former Miami alum as well. He's done a great job there, man. Again, they have a great team this year, but they have a great program. And they're consistently towards the top of the MAC, winning championships or putting themselves in position to qualify for the NCAA tournament. So, they have that in their DNA, and we got to get that in our DNA here at Miami. Told our guys, man, we're I hate talking about moral victories, but if we compete, if you would have told me we could compete like we've been competing the last two games a month ago, I don't think we could have done it. Kent State, in my opinion, is as good as any team we've played, and as well coached as any team that we've played. And we've lost some games this year by, man, seemed like 90, 100 points. I think there were 30 balls, but we've gotten obliterated a few times. And if our guys keep believing, keep competing, we are getting better. We're not perfect, but our effort has been really, really, really good. We do got to stay out of foul trouble. Obviously when Morgan got his fourth and when Anderson Marambo got his fourth, I thought that changed the game there late. But again, our guys are really trying, man. Our coachability is really, really high. Our guys are trying. They're working their tails off. I'll roll with our group any day. Because it's like I told our guys, if we stick with it and we keep believing and we keep heading in the same direction we're heading, we're going to get this thing turned. And then people are going to be like, whoa, isn't that the team that got blown out against Indiana State and Marshall in the non-conference? And now, they're going on a big run. So I like the direction our team's heading. We got to take care of the ball a little bit better, obviously. And we had 19 turnovers. Sincere Carey, there's a reason he was the Conference Player of the Year last year. We tried to do a lot of different things, and none of it was working. And it's because he's a terrific player. So, but we're going to keep working, keep chopping wood. Tomorrow we'll get right back up. I'll watch this film. We'll learn from today's game, and then we'll start preparing for Buffalo tomorrow.
Started the second half, had 4 fouls and 2 or 3 turnovers within the first 3 minutes.
Yep.
And how much, although the score didn't change all that much at the moment, how concerned were you that might come back to bite you down the road?
Yeah, I was really concerned, especially about the fouls. And, like you said, our margin for error is a little smaller right now. It just is. And that's okay. But we still have a chance to win these games if we do what we're supposed to do. If we play hard, stick together, and we execute, which we gave ourselves again for a good bulk of today's game. We looked like I would say as good as Kent State or better, right? We were in the lead. We had control of the game. But again, we got to find a way to keep Morgan and some of our key players out of foul trouble. And again, me complaining at the officials isn't going to work. We have to figure out how to be legal and stay out of foul trouble. That's all I'm going to say about it. And I think that will help us, especially to finish games down the stretch. Because the same thing happened against Central Michigan. Morgan Safford gets his 4th foul. I take him out. Guess what? They go on their run. It's a pattern. And we got to be able to keep those guys out of foul trouble.
Clearly, that probably led to or helped lead to you guys having a 6-point lead, but then them coming back.
Yeah.
Can any of that be traced also to the fact that you're still pretty young?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like Jaquel had a big turnover right there, and Ryan got one of his shots kind of tipped as he shot the 3. Probably should have shot, faked it, and drove it. Again, those guys are learning. Jaquel showed some flashes today, man. He had a rebound where he went and got that thing above the square and was like, holy Moses, nobody else on the floor can go get that ball. And now he has some flashes also where he looks like he's still in high school, right? Those guys are learning, and they're getting better. And like I said, our coachability is really, really, really high. If that continues, we will continue to get better as the season goes on.
Through December, opponents were shooting a really high percentage, getting off to a really good start, scoring a lot of points in that. Playing against a high-caliber MAC team like Kent State, I'm sure you didn't want to have any of that going on. It did look like and the percentages were down. It did look like the defense was better, and the passes were crisper, didn't have as many turnovers. How did you feel about starting off like that and being able to hang right there with them? I mean, are those two things related?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. And our defense, quite honestly, I don't know if it could have gotten any worse in the non-conference. And it's a mixture of, listen, some of it's genetics with our guys, some of it's we got youth, some of it's, a little bit of everything. We've gotten a lot better. Central Michigan was way better defensively. Tonight, way better defensively. Defense travels, it'll give you a chance to win. Even when things don't go well, maybe on the offensive, if you have an off shooting night, how are you going to win those games? Can you win ugly? Can you figure it out? That's what good teams do. And if you defend, man, it gives you a shot in every single game. So I love the direction our team is heading in that area. We do got to continue to take better care of the ball. I think that's if we took a little bit better care of the ball tonight, I think we win the game. And that's something that we're going to continue to focus on here moving forward. But that'll help our transition defense as well.
You did have 4 guys in double figures tonight. I'm guessing that would be something that is going to be helpful if you've got more than one person or 1 or 2 guys just putting it there. But also you've got the bench thing. Do you feel like at some point in the season you'll be able to get maybe a little bit more out of your bench and spread it as they get more experience, or you get other people back?
Yeah, I think we always say the go-to guy for us is going to be the open guy. Right, we're a ball movement team. Mekhi can obviously get very hot. You guys have seen that for a long time here at Miami. He can have those moments where it's like, man, he gets blistering hot. But we don't have necessarily a lot of like one-on-one isolation players, right? So we have to be a ball movement team, and that kind of shows with when you have 4 guys in double figures. I think that lends to being tougher to scout. Right? Because who do you prepare for? You take away this guy, well, then these other 3 guys or 4 guys can get it done as well. Our bench, I always say, our minutes are always earned in practice. I meet with our guys every 2 weeks, and I go over what I call the Miami way. We stat everything in practice, and you get everything that you earn, right? And you have to earn your time in practice. And we want to continue to develop our bench, obviously, but they got to earn that in practice.
You had that 6-point lead in the second half there, but then they came back, obviously. Not being able to close it out, how much of that is attributable to you guys being pretty young?
I don't think it's about us being young. We fight hard, and sometimes games and calls go the other direction. But tonight, I'm really proud of the team. We fought the whole game. We know going into the game, Kent State was going to bully us, and we didn't fold. And the whole game, they made the runs, and we stayed together. I feel like tonight was a more connected team, but all credit to Kent State, they pulled it out. So.
There were a number of times, like in the first half, got off to a pretty good start in the first half, and other times where the passing looked crisper. A lot of things seemed to be improving. Did you notice anything yourself where there seems to be improvement either from last game to this or just in general, that it looked a lot sharper for large parts of tonight?
I just think each day we're getting better, we're getting better in practice. We're getting better throughout these games. And these past 2 games, you definitely see a different Miami than you saw in the non-conference, So we're definitely getting better, and I think if we're trending in the right direction, one day it's going to crack, and it's going to happen. It's going to look really good. So we're going in the right direction.
How difficult is it to deal with a guy like Sincere Carey? He seems to have a lot of it going where he can just control parts of the game himself, or at least their offense, and he's pretty good at defense too. How tough is an opponent like that?
Sincere is a great point guard, and he's probably one of the best point guards I played against in college basketball. So it's definitely tough. We knew going into the game what he was going to do, and so we had to try to make adjustments. With players like that, you just got to try to contain them. You're not going to stop a former player of the year, so you just have to try to contain him. And tonight he went off, so we'll see him in the MAC tournament, and we'll do a lot better job.
What was Coach's message in the locker room after the game, and did the word turnovers come up at all?
No, he said he's proud of us. Coach Steele can sometimes go off on us, especially at certain games that we played this year, like Indiana State. But it's the same message he had after Central Michigan, that we're trending in the right direction. We're doing a lot of things, and he said he'll roll with us any day of the week, and that's how I feel after this game. You know, like a team like Kent State, they had a great non-conference, and they're probably the best team in our league, and we stuck with them the whole game and had them on the ropes. We just have to finish, and we'll improve going forward.